Corn remains about 2 weeks behind average across our state. Roughly 18% of the crop is now dented. And as you're making plans for fall harvest, it's a good time to scout which cover crops will work best on your fields.
One of the biggest reasons that we're interested in planting rye after corn silage is for the conservation value. So corn silage provides a high yield of very highly digestible nutrients for feeding dairy or beef cattle. And so it's a good economic source of feed, but it doesn't leave much crop residue to cover the soil after we've harvested. So we want to get an overwintering cover crop to keep the soil in place, to hold the nutrients and keep them from running off. So if we can figure out a way to make that rye a valuable forage crop as well as a cover crop, that's what we're after.
Value for farmers who are experimenting with adding cover crops to the rations for their cows.
Depending on when you harvest it, so if you're wanting to replace alfalfa silage, say in a lactating cow diet, if you're running short on that, you'd have to harvest it at that earlier boot stage to have the right quality for feeding those cows.
We can replace most or all of the alfalfa, again, as long as that silage is of a relative forage quality about 145.
So when is an ideal time to get these cover crops in the ground?
If we can get the rye planted in late September, say September 20th to about October 5th, we're usually in somewhere between 1 and 3 tons of dry matter per acre.
That harvest is an added bonus to the soil benefits.
They're also adding carbon, obviously, to the soil, and by promoting that biology and that carbon, they're helping build that soil. It's helping the biology of the soil, but it's also helping the physical properties and the fertility, the chemical properties of that soil. So we found some big differences when we had that cover crop present, where we saw better aggregation. We have seen increases in organic matter a little bit, but we've seen big differences in some other microbial indicators that it's helping the quality of that soil, the health of that soil. The surface coverage of that cover crop really reduced erosion up to 50% depending on the time of the year. And with that, we saw a great reduction in runoff, sediment losses, and also phosphorus losses.